waves in this set. He made waves on social media. He's done massive amounts for his country. He said his following's constantly going up as we see the images of what he was like yesterday.
Yeah, he played really good yesterday. I mean, also on his head, mindset really good. He was just playing in the attack. I mean, like, just perfect. And I mean, he has all got some fans here. Every time if he scored, the crowd goes crazy. Any people from Morocco could just go crazy. They have just a crazy community. So we will love to see him.
Honestly, if yesterday's celebrations are anything to go by and that man makes it through, Ryan, we're going to see absolute scenes here and probably everywhere in all the chats, all around the world, everything. Yuval, 5-2 win against Manu Bashore. How about that one for a statement?
Yep, I spoke to him yesterday as well. I had the privilege of speaking to him after his game. That's a massive, massive victory. Not just to win a game, obviously, in this stage of the tournament, but to win it against the reigning champion. That's going to give him a huge boost of confidence.
I mean, he's taken some big steps as well throughout the tournament, hasn't he? I mean, Yuval, he's not been quiet since the first day. He's taken some big scalps. How far do you think he can go?
He can go really far because I think he's really good. He beat in group stage Nicolas twice, so he will be really confident, but he's playing against Emre Yilmaz. And in this matchup, Emre Yilmaz is the favorite, I think, and I think he also played with respect against Emre, but Emre also needs to get respect from Yuval because he beat great names, and maybe he's the next one who can beat.
Today's going to be so good, isn't it? What about a last-minute goal from K1 John? What a game, by the way, against a man who's incredible. We can see the goal. Ryan, in this position, calm and composed.
Yeah, he had to be. See, a lot of players maybe at home would have made a mistake there and even mistimed it. He didn't even bother timing it. And that moment, he turned the game on its head. He was 4-2 down. Ended up turning it around against Levy, which is a massive win for him.
And the thing is, with it being 9-minute halves, we're going to see a lot of comebacks and stuff like that. 9-minute halves seems so long. Anders Vergang, who we just spoke about a minute ago, we rave about this man for so many different reasons, and I'm sure everybody who's watching around the world will hopefully see the celebrations from him at some point. Yep. But let's talk about him in game, shall we? The goalkeeper movement, Umar. Are you helping him practice with that? Because he's unbelievable at it.
Nah, to be honest, I'm not helping him with that. I played many 2v2 tournaments with Anders, and I've never touched the goalkeeper. Every time I'm the second player just because he's so good in goalkeeper movement. He's by far the best in it, and I think like at some point, like you can't learn it. Like you just have it in your mind. You just have to be in mind of your opponent, and he's always in mind. For example, in this case, is in Johnny's mind always, and he saved so many goals. Bro. It's a safe goal, but he just saved it with his keeper.
Yeah, we have to mention this, Ryan. This celebration that he did yesterday for this man,
yeah.
Umar. Can we just address the elephant in the room and talk about why that is your celebration?
I also don't know why it's my celebration, but I just do it in content, so that they don't have to tell me anything, but it's cringe, so I just did this one. And every time he's making jokes about it, and I just say, please stop. And now yesterday I said, yeah, okay, he's through, and he was just pointing at me like this, all like 3 seconds like this. And yeah, maybe he will do another celebration for me again today.
Well, maybe you can make a new one by the end of the show. We'll leave that with you, all right? But listen, we've got an interview with Anders. Let's go and hear from him. He was with Casey.
I am backstage with Anders, who has qualified for the top 8. Very, very impressive. You've been to this stage before, though. What are your emotions going into today?
I'm really confident. I beat Johnny like yesterday, and on paper he is the hardest opponent before the final, so I know if I can beat him really comfortable, then I have a huge chance of going into the final today. And on paper there's only Emre and me left as the huge favorites, so I'm really looking forward to the day, and hopefully it's my trophy.
Now we do have to do a little bit of a flashback to last year. You lost to Oberon in Italian in the quarterfinals. You just so happen to have another Italian in the quarterfinals. Is that on your mind at all?
Not really. I would say that Oberon has been my kryptonite like my whole career, I would say, so I'm not fearing Jesus at all. We have analyzed him really well, and I know our coaches has prepared me really good, and if I'm gonna play like I did yesterday, he has no chance.
You say he has no chance, but what is it about Jesus that makes him such a good opponent? Because obviously he's made it to this point, so he has to have some type of, good thing on his side.
I'm not really thinking about what his strength is. We are just looking at what he's doing and trying to look at the key things that I can take advantage of, because in the end, when we're playing the game, I know my talent is much bigger than his, and if I'm gonna show up today, I'm also gonna win, and that's just how it is.
All right, well, either way, we know it's going to be a fantastic matchup. Anders versus Jesus. I wish you the best of luck. I'll let you get back to it, and I'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Casey. Anders Vergang has just dropped a couple of bombshells for us. Him and Emre Yilmaz are the favourites.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's the better player out of the two that he's playing. I love this guy. I think he's box office, Ryan. He's incredible.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's fighting talk, though, and I think we need more of that. But I agree with him. If he plays to his level, I think he's the person to beat.
And of course, the man that he is playing, though, Hezes, is by no... I mean, he loves to attack, doesn't he? He's an incredible player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good in attack, but as you see, Anders is so confident. He just said, I'm the better player. On the paper, Emre and me, we are the favorites. And of course, like some people say, it's a little bit arrogant, but he's just honest. And I love that he's honest and just say it clear what he thinks and what is in his mind.
Oh, no, we absolutely love Anders, and we also love Hezes as well. So let's show you a little bit about him.
I played Levi Finn, and it was obviously an hard match. I think that I deserved the win, like I deserved so much. I mean, we are here for play the best. We have to go round by round, and we will see what happens. It's a dream, but you have to believe in the dreams. Obviously, when you are in the game, you understand how much you care about the game and the competition. I can beat everyone, I can lose everyone. I say every time this to my friend. And so maybe I can do something that also them cannot believe. So today, against, I don't know why yet, but I'm sure that he is one of the strongest in the game. If I play aggressive against him, I can show some his weakness and maybe I don't know what can happen, we will see. This is the start of the unstoppable streak for me. In 21 you was the GOAT, but not anymore.
Well then, Hezes is all talk ahead of his quarter-final game. Myself, Richard Buckley, Mo Albert are going to be breaking down the remaining fixtures for you here, and we've got to be focusing on Abu Maka versus ex-Sharif. It's a crazy top 8, Mo, when you think about it.
Yeah, some favorites left, but when you look at Abu Maka and Sharif, they're both a great, their countries are behind them.
Well, let's have a look at Abu Maka's team, what he is going to be using here today. I think for me, there's a couple of key players in this team, but I've got to say, I think a lot of what he does well comes through Zinedine Zidane. He is that creative player in the midfield. Talk to me about Zidane, because he's not in everyone's draft.
Yeah, I think Zidane was always in the shadow from Khalid and Vieira in that position, but Zidane is one of the best box-to-box players. He can defend, he can score, but also when you look at Alphonso Davies, it looks similar like my squad in 19. He have a quick guy, and everyone plays tall guys to defend the headers.
Well, let's have a deeper dive at Abu Maka and see how he got to this top 8. It was a really solid couple of performances from him. We've known about him for a long time. We've seen him in the FC Pro Open. We saw him at last year's World Championships. But this win against Tex, it went to penalties and he held his nerve. We've seen Saudi Arabian World Champions before. We've had 2, Mr. Dunn, MS Desari. Could we be looking at a 3rd this year, Mo?
Yeah, I think so. I like his game style. He started the offense, he wants to score goals, and in the first day he struggled, but in the second day he performed so good. He was one of the best players yesterday, so I expect him to win this game.
Expect him to win, that's Mo's prediction. It's not going to be tough because he's up against the pride of Morocco, ex-Sharif.
When the pressure goes out, I just started to cry like a crazy man because I was too emotional and the match was so stressful. My coach also was screaming and crying like me. We were on a very stressful mode. So after the match finished, we just started both to cry. Yeah, I'm so proud of myself, being on the top 8 of the world, and it's already just my first experience on the FC Pro World Championship, and first time Morocco is eligible to play this year. So now I'm on the top 8 and I'm on the top of the world. Today I play Abu Maka, who's again a close friend of mine. Abu Maka is so good at passing and going from the wing. I will try everything tomorrow to defend him. Starting from now, I feel that I'm really unstoppable. Winning this tournament will mean the best moments in my life.
Okay, it's nearly time, Ryan, for the quarter-finals of the FC Pro World Championship. How are you feeling?
We're moments away. I'm nervous. I couldn't even imagine how the players are feeling, but I'm sure they'll be excited as well because this is what they've dreamed of.
9-minute halves, 90 minutes.
Yep.
Extra time and penalties, potential for penalty shootout if we need it. The game's going to be tight. There's going to be a lot of goals. $250,000 and a chance to win this trophy. Let's get on with it.
If I'm gonna play good today, I'm gonna lift the trophy.
I know, I can do this.
Well then, we've done 3 days already here in Berlin, but it's all come down to this day, the big day, where we will be crowning a world champion in just a few hours' time. Before that though, we have 8 players that potentially are all dreaming to pick up that special trophy here in Berlin. And we kick it off with these first 2 incredible quarterfinals. Starting at Anders Vergang against Jesus. 2 players that last played last year in a qualifier. They've not matched up since, but this is a different sort of game, isn't it, Gravison?
It's a completely different type of game because this is the World Championship we're talking about. So I'm excited, of course, because this is the final day of the tournament, quarterfinal on. I mean, I don't know what to think. Anders probably the favorite coming into this match, but Jesus, as more predicted, top 4. It's just one step ahead, but again, Anders probably the biggest name in the whole competition. It's gonna be tough because from the group stage and round of 16, he has played, would you say, perfect FC at the moment?
I would say yes. Like, I couldn't even think about the mistake. The only mistake he sometimes did was he was not that clear in front of the goal, but still he played perfect. Like, I've never seen such a great performance from him. Of course, he's one of the best and he played really good over the last years, but in this tournament, he just played perfect.
I agree with him.
I was going to say,
perfect.
Remember on top of that, guys, that this man won the World Championship 2 years ago on a penalty shootout, $250,000. The difference is this year, though, if you win the World Championship, you don't just get the cash, you don't just get the trophy, you get your own Icon SBC in the game for you at home to maybe get your hands on. I mean, I believe there's 6 different icons that are available for these guys to choose out of. If you're at home right now and you're watching the broadcast, let us know in the chat which player you would choose to go into the Icon SBC, because let's be honest, Graf, that is some serious power, isn't it, for the FC community?
Of course. Could you imagine picking up an SBC and then playing with him? And not only that, let's just say you're playing champs and then someone beats you using that player. Could be fun, but let's see. Players are prepared. Jesus and Anders seems to be doing some changes in tactics. As you can see, they're waiting on the screen there to play. And I mean, the trophy's right there. You can see it, and it's just so close, but so far as well.
Yeah, it's just like, I think 3 hours to play. It's just today. Today he can, it can be like his best day in his life, but today can also be one of the worst days, because if you're here, if you're in the top 8, if you're one of the finals, one of the favorites, you just want to win. And I think if unless also loses here or just get top 4, he just still will be disappointed, because of course top 4 is good.
But
top 4 best players in the world, but
it's not the title.
It's not enough for him.
It's not the title.
But what do you think, Graf? Jesus is not playing with the coach. You see Anders is playing. Next to him is Saratinho. But yeah, Jesus, I think, one of the only one who don't have a coach.
I don't think I remember a player who played here in the round of 16 who wasn't playing with a coach. Only Jesus, and it's interesting because he does really seem like he's not a person who maybe changes game styles. So let's just say he has a game plan when he's playing, maybe game plan A or B. He changes between those, but it's not like he's a player who just changes for another option. So I do think that he's just coming here to play. Yes. He doesn't care about really the way Anders plays. He's gonna play his game style, and if it goes well, he's gonna win. But I do think, Omar, I don't know if you agree, I would always love to play besides a good coach in this situation, because it can help you. This is when you're heading to extra time, it can give you that little motivation or that little experience for a change that can lead up to a win.
Yeah, I also think like the coach also help you to set up it before the game. What is Anders doing? Maybe Hazard know what Anders is doing, but it's so hard to defend. And I think if you play against someone like Anders, you just have you can't just play whatever you play like against different opponents, because he's so good and he's so strange. Also, you just have to adapt your play style on him. You just have to change a little bit. But maybe it's Hazard know what to do, and maybe he just know what he wants to change, and maybe he will change the right things without the coach.
I just wanted to talk about very quickly. Well, we had Anders Vergang prize winnings on the screen. You've got to remember, this guy's 18 years of age. If he was to go the full way here tonight, he would pick up over $600,000 in prize earnings at 18 years of age. I mean, Umut, you've won a lot of cash. What's the number? Is yours is over 300,000-400,000. You've been a German champion, you've been a world champion, you've had some great runs in the E-Champions League. But that young, to earn that sort of money from this space just shows how dominant he's been. And remember, he only picked up his first individual trophy last week. This has all been sort of team efforts, 2v2 with you in the club championships.
Yeah, he just competed, I think last year was his first year of competition. So he just had last year and this year's not even over, because we just still have tournaments, and we just have the biggest tournaments now, so it's the chance to win the most money now, and that just shows how crazy he is and how consistent and how much money he won.
Well then, this is the start of a day to remember in this FC Pro Open World Championship, the first of its kind, a $1 million tournament that's been playing out across these last 4 days here in Berlin, the home in Germany. And there are 8 players left, all from different parts of the world. And they've certainly all been on very different journeys. The only player that's been in this scenario before is Anders Vergang. It was a top 8 last year. The difference is, though, Gravison, that I want to speak about, the players that he has lost to, and there's not many of them for Anders, they're all not here. Levi Finn, he's not here. Johnny, he's not here. He beat him yesterday. PH In, the arch enemy from the FC Pro Open final, he's not here. He got eliminated. Oberon, he's not even here this year. This could be one of the best brackets he has, and maybe biggest chances to go the full way.
Wow, thought that was going to be a penalty. But yeah, as we know, Oberon is a really good friend of Hazard, so probably in the hotel they did have a little chat about the way he can beat Anders, because probably Oberon is one of the toughest players for Anders. But I do feel like Oberon's game style is so different from Hazard's, it cannot apply really, Umut.
Yeah, I also think like Anders just don't like to play against Oberon. I don't know why, but I think he's the best opponent against Anders. He's every time doing really well. But as you said, Gravison, he's playing so different to Hazard. He's just a different player. Also, if he's a friend with Oberon, also if he's from the same country, but still, like, it's just so crazy different. And I think Hazard can't adapt to play like Oberon just for this game.
I think one thing on that as well, Graves, in the same breath, is the reason why Oberon always gives him a good game is because you're playing a mental battle when you play against Anders Vergang. Whether he might be doing a celebration in game, or he might be just trying to press you like mad in different scenarios. A lot of players can deal with 45 in-game minutes of that, 60 minutes in-game of that. Some players can't deal with 2 legs of that, as what we saw last year, and Oberon was able to do that. He didn't crack, he was there, he stood strong. Here comes Anders now, wins himself his first corner. The question is Hazard's going to be able to also stay calm and collect it? Maybe not. 10 minutes in, and it's the aerial plus that comes back to haunt. Hazard's in this scenario, it's his first corner. It's Erling Haaland, it's time green, you know what that's all about. It's been a constant meta so far this year in FC 24, and we're seeing it again on the biggest of stages, Grav.
And this all comes from a good press from Anders. I think this is something we've been talking about from group stage, yesterday with the round of 16, and now with quarterfinals again. It all came with the press. He player switched into the midfield, intercepted a pass, and then he got a chance. It was a corner, and he scored. But again, Umut, I feel like we're talking about this every single time, but he presses so good with Hullit, with Bellingham, and he takes the ball back.
Yeah, that's the point we mention all the time, but yeah, he was doing that really great. Also, the corner after that was really great, but as you said, he just get this chance only because his pressure, only because he pressures so well, and it's so hard to get in his half. Like, now we see Hazard also playing again, but it's hard to play. Like, you see, no one is free. It's so hard to play against Anders. He's so good in pressure, and if he's confident, if he knows what he's doing, if his player switching is perfect, it's so hard to score.
Well, I caught up with an interesting conversation before we went live, and it was Jesus basically saying Bro, I heard you commentating yesterday against Levi Finn, and you didn't, you know, you disrespected me, his words were. Obviously, you forgot the obvious fact that Levi Finn is your teammate of RB Leipzig, gave him finesse from distance! Calm down! We've only just got started! Anders Vergang 2-0 up, and time green finesse from 30+ yards. That is a way to introduce yourself to this championship finals day.
I'm confident this is the first time I've seen Anders finesse from that distance. I don't know, it seems like it's always inside the box for a green time, but this time he went for a finesse with Saka, playstyle plus.
Yeah, of course, I also know like how Anders prepared for this tournament, and he just started to learn new things. He just started the first goal. In the last year, he would never score a corner goal. Never, never, never. He just played every corner short, and everyone was telling him, you need to learn corners. And also, you need like to learn the play styles, because you have to learn this year. The play styles in EAFC are so important, and you can see with Saka, such an easy goal, just green time finish, in the right position. He do that crazy well.
This is a brilliant storyline about Anders not only playing the game at its best, but learning play styles.
Yeah.
And when he's managing that and corners as well, is someone gonna be able to stop him? I don't think so.
Well, you probably saw it. His chance does come in. Is he not going to be on for a third, is he? Well played. A little bit of goalkeeper movement there from Jesus was needed. Otherwise, it could have been 3-0 down in 20 minutes. Quick corner comes in. Eder Militao able to stop him. Just wanted to talk a bit more about Anders' team, because it was spoken about a lot. I mean, look, it's an interesting back line, but before we went live to the crowd, so you said it's got to be one of the best defensive lines we've seen. I mean, Hoslu's in as a right back. Yeah, that is Hoslu, the striker. John Stones comes across as a left back, and I think it's Kanate and Virgil van Dijk. Could be a chance for 3!
Wow.
This is dangerous now for Jesus. He's 3-0 down in 22 minutes. He can't move. He can't function. He just can't even get a hold of this game.
You were talking about defenses, and in this instance he was using McTominay as a right back, who's probably not the quickest one, maybe.
Yeah.
He got right out of position.
But Graf, you also see the timing of Anders. Exactly in the moment where Jesus takes Van Dijk and wants to go on his player, exactly in this moment he just passed, and this timing is just crazy.
Saw a few shots there as well. Anders Vergang's mum in the crowd. She can't be more proud of what her son's been able to achieve across the last number of years since he's been eligible to compete in this scene. 11 years of age is when he played in his first tournament out in Denmark. He was travelling around sports halls, competing for controllers, headsets, keyboards, anything but money. This time he's playing for a jackpot of $250,000 at just 18 years of age. Still a long way away from it, but with a win here, it would be $70,000 guaranteed with the top 4 in this year's World Championship. Is he on for a 4th? Reverse Elastico! Into a 4-0 lead, and we haven't even hit the 30th minute. Jesus could just laugh, that's all he can do at this point.
What can you do, really? He did everything. This is the 4th goal, and it's the 4th different kind of goal. So we got a corner, we got a finesse, we got also counter-attack, and now you got a play in which we recycle, pass it back over Elastic on score. He did everything, 4 different goals.
And you see him just saying, I'm so good, and he's also pushing himself, and he just played perfect. As you asked me before that match, the last days, did Anders play perfect? I said, I think yes, and now he's playing perfect again. It's just 30 minutes, and he's leading 4-0. It's just crazy. I said, I think
How do you think he comes into these games as a teammate of him for quite a few years now? And he just seems numb to the pressure of this game. Where we are here in Berlin, the crowd. It just seems like he's in his own world. He could just zone in.
Yeah, he loves this pressure. I mean, like, I think if he would play this match online, just at his home, I think he would play much, much worse. He wouldn't play at that level. But if he has this crowd, if he has this motivation to play, he's just unstoppable, and he's so good. And it's like,
surely not enough.
Oh, come on!
Bukayo Saka makes it 5-0 in this quarterfinal.
Really, what else can you do if you're Jesus? Just laugh about it, because how he opens up the angle with the ball roll, It's crazy. And again, the play styles.
Yeah.
They come into play. Not only the finesses come into play, the tribelas. Now he's been able to just control dribble with Saka inside the area, open up the angle with a ball roll. Again, another goal. It's just, what amazes me is 5 different kind of goals. So different, and it seems like he's dominated everything, really.
Yeah, I mean, he learned everything now. I think the only one that he's not using that much, if you also look at his center mids, we don't have any player with long ball. Gullit and Bellingham both don't have the long ball trait, so he never used it. So that's the only thing that he could learn maybe, but he's playing perfect also without that. So I think you don't need to learn that.
I think that was the first shot we've seen from Jesus.
First one, yep.
In this quarter-final. Wins a corner. Let's go. And I mean, I dare to ask, you at a quarter-final, Gravison, you're 5-0 down in 35 minutes, to try and keep yourself together mentally and not crack. And I mean, look, there's an obvious task in front of your screen that you're playing Anders, and he's got a 5-0 lead against you. I've never seen him drop a 5-0 lead.
Never. I mean, Umut always talks about this, how if you constant press against Anders, you'll concede a lot of goals. And you can see that Jesus is panicking now at the moment. Not only because of the driven pass he just made, but the first time shot from Cruyff didn't make any sense really as well. So, I mean, the pressure can get to you. You're here in the biggest stage, probably the biggest game of your life. You played it against Anders, this version of Anders. The pressure can get to you.
But Graf, if you would be Anders, would you change anything? I mean, it's perfect, but you don't need to do anything more. You just don't need to score that many goals. You just need to be clean sheet. Normally, you also could hold more possession, but would you change anything? Would you change your playstyle or play the same?
I'll play the same if I'm Anders, because he's playing well. And not only he's playing well, Jesus has only shot once, and it was the first time, which didn't make any sense, really. So why changing things? You're playing perfect FC at the moment. You're leading 5-0. You got to keep going.
Well, he said yesterday in an interview with Case after the game that he wanted revenge for his teammate in Levy Finn. And I'll tell you what, he might have just got revenge and a bit more than that. Yes, there's still plenty more time to play. 9-minute halves this year. Chance for R9, went for a power shot. And to answer that question as well, of what you would change, I think we know Anders here. All he's going to do is just try and double that lead.
Yeah. He will never stop.
And try and make it even more convincing than it already is. Nice step over exit. Jesus, this has to go. It does. It's a building block. Yes, potentially an impossible task in front of him. But a goal before half-time will just regain something, Gravison. The final third to be like, look, I'm in a top 8 for a reason. I'm in this game. And there's still a lot of time to be played.
You can see Anders' applause. Sportsmanship given to Jesus because it was a beautiful goal. And again, it was a beautiful use of the playstyles. The first touch, playstyle plus from R9, puts into the right position, the step over, then you open up the angle with a ball roll. And again, the finesse as well because of the finesse playstyle plus. Again, brilliant goal, but he has to keep going. I feel like for the last 5 to 10 minutes, Jesus is playing much, much better. He did have a power shot as well, but it's just those first 15, 20 minutes, they were too much for him to handle.
Yeah, I also think like Jesus is crazy in the attack. I also could imagine that he score more goals and that he also can score maybe 3 or 4 goals, but I think that he don't concede any goal anymore against Anders in one half, 9 minutes per half. And he has to open, he has to press. I think that is not possible.
And still at 5-1.
He's angry. He's leading 5-1.
How can he not be happy with that performance? He still demands so much more from himself. 5-1 at the break, as we said. Anders Vergang is leading Jesus. Guess what? We're not going to stop there, though, here at the FC Pro World Championship. We're going to kick off another quarter-final as well. He had all the support yesterday online, all the way in Morocco as well. We heard 20,000 Moroccans are watching on another stream. He's going to be in action, ex-Sharif against Abu Makr. Also, the Saudi fans, Grav, they love him. They feel like maybe he could be that next Asari coming through.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not only the way he's been playing these World Championships. Also, if we talk about FC Pro back in the days, just 6 months ago, I did some research. I didn't remember that he just was this close to beating PH in the quarterfinals.
but still was there last year in the World Championship. So much to come from this game. Let's tease up now. It's ex-Sharif against Abu Makr next.
أطمح للجاي وأطمح إني أكون البطل وأكون الرقم 1 في العالم.
I'm on the top of the world.
Well, here they come then. As our other matches in half-time, we will welcome out our next quarter-finalists. Abu Makr representing Team Falcons and Saudi Arabia up against Raja Casablanca's finalists, Moroccan's finest, ex-Sharif, who has already been making waves online as well. He's already made history being the first Moroccan to play in a World Championship. And look, he's had to go the long way around here as well, Gravison. He wasn't given a 32-player ticket. He had to turn up and play in the play-ins, which meant he's played 4 more matches than anyone else in this competition.
I had the chance to talk to Fer, which is Nicolas's coach, just a few hours before the show started, and he told me when Nicolas was training with Sharif back, let's say 4 days ago before playing, he thought Sharif had a really proper chance of not only qualifying for the group stage, but getting out of the group stage because of the player switching and because of the way he left stick dribbled. And it feels like Fer told me that Sharif's left stick dribbling was one of the best he's seen this year. So I do feel like he's lacking some things in defense, but if he gets that fixed, for sure he can get to the top 4.
Yeah, but also if we've seen like the match from Abu Makr against Tex, if we remember, I think it was maybe 7-7, 6-6. So if Sharif just continue, like how good he is in attack, I think he also can score many goals against Abu Makr. But yeah, Abu Makr is also really good in attack, so that will be a tough match. And you also think there will be many goals, Gravison?
I do think it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be 5-5, 6-6, it's going to be one-sided, but I do think we're going to see a lot of goals because Abu Makr's defense is good, it's decent, but Sharif's ones, I think he needs to step it up a little bit.
Back to this one now, Anders on for another 6-1. If there was any doubt, you can think again. 5-goal cushion reinstated in this quarter-final.
It's unlucky because Van Dijk was battling with Haaland, and that's why the other player was onside. The drill pass was there, and I do think Hesser's defense wasn't bad per se, but yeah, the player switch wasn't that good, and it seems like the game, I'm not going to say it's done, but 6-1, Anders, woof, that's a tough mountain to climb.
And can we talk about it a bit more as well, Women? Because there is a lot of people in the community asking right now, are they actually seeing Hoslu as a right back? Chance for Hesser's, big goal back for him, 6-2, still a 4-goal deficit between the two. Explain the Hoslu scenario for those that might not be aware of the meta that we're following here in the FC Pro scene.
Hoslu is just, he's really tall. He's 193, I think. And yeah, he got aerial plus. So you just use him as a right back to don't concede any headers from Weghorst or Haaland. I think it's a good option for Anders because it's so hard to just outplay him, to just score normal goals. And if you're not able to cross because Hoslu is on the side, you just don't have the chance like to score any headers, and this one is yeah, really important for Anders. And of course in attack he's also good. I mean, he has not the best defense stats. He got like 84, I think, something like that, and no defense play styles, I think. But he's crazy in attacking. He has good step overs and of course aerial plus.
Well, we have just kicked off that other quarter-final matchup now between Abu Makr and Sharif. Could be an early start there. Schmeichel comes out and grasps the ball. We will keep you up to date with that game. As we said, we are 60 minutes in front over here, so still plenty of time to give you a lowdown on both of those matches. Anders on the hunt for a 7th. Mbappe, can he turn? Runs into Edem and Tau. A very different journey, Anders, to be to this point. Only had to play 3 games to get here. It was an opening win 2 days ago against Ekman of Club Bruges, who came through the play-ins. It was a 6-3 win. And beating Natural Bay of Real Oviedo, and yesterday took down the giant, this Johnny, to get into this quarter-final stage. We are going to jump over now to this game. Sharif against Abu Makr. One of them two will be continuing to write history for themselves to a spot in the semi-final. That first shot does come in, it's a corner. There goes the way of Sharif. Flick on. For a goal kick.
This all started with the left stick dribbling with Havertz, which opened up the angle for a passing to R9. It seems like the left stick dribbling from Sharif is beautiful at the moment.
We want to hear from you at home as well. It's clear to see where the love is coming from the stream. Saudi fans, Moroccan fans, all pushing their two players on to make some history today. Lofted in all the way, it goes across, out for a corner. I'm not sure how Weghorst didn't connect with that one. Quick corner comes in, Abu Bakr saved at the back post. Can he keep it in? Konate can. And that's the time just to move the ball back around again to recycle it back in. Weghorst, R9 can't find anywhere past that back line.
Great press.
Sharif, but the possession still falls the way of the Saudi Arabian. The MBS winner, that's how he got his ticket here to the World Championships. Little lofted pass, it should be readable for John Stones, and it will be.
One thing that's beautiful about the way Abu Bakr plays and attacks is that, he's through.
Can he beat through as the onside? Haaland all the time in the world. Could it be an early start for him? Yes! Just about. I thought it the woodwork, it was about to go out, but it isn't. It's Raja Casablanca's Sharif that leads by a goal to nil in his quarter-final, and it all came from that ball there, and it was a long ball, but Haaland just kept on running.
Yeah, I think he sent it Haaland earlier, and he played this long ball with R9. I think Abu Bakr didn't expect it because R9 didn't have any play stats for long ball, so he didn't select his player early, and he didn't press R9, and Sharif just went through.
One thing I'm going to talk about is, because Umut probably won't talk about this, Umut created this meta back in 2022 with the way you were making those runs with Haaland, with the midfields, and now 2 years later, it's still OP, it's still people using it, but you discovered it, Umut. It was you, 2022.
Yeah, I was one of the guys.
Oh, just quickly, could be on for a second, cuts it back inside R9. Eventually he's defended.
I was one of the guys who used it a lot. Like, I think back in the years it was just stronger, these long balls, if you just send players. And now we got different long balls. It's more like Johnny is playing, like to send your wing back through and to just come over the lines. But I think sometimes if the opponent doesn't expect it, you can also send Haaland or R9 for a long ball. And yeah, it's, as we see, it's just a really, really easy goal. He didn't have to do anything like special, but just easy and effective.
Abu Bakr on the hunt for a way back in this game. It was only a few weeks ago, wasn't it, Amit, where you actually played against Abu Bakr in another competition.
Yeah.
In a tight game against him. I mean, what was it like playing against him? What are some of the intricacies that Abu Bakr tends to have?
I think he's playing really basic. In this tournament, I played against Sharif in the round before, and then I played against Abu. And yeah, he was just doing really well. He was trying to get on his CDMs to just pass on his strikers, and he was really good in skilling and also in
should be onside.
Oh,
to save that one was from Schmeichel.
And as you were explaining the way he attacks, he did that attack. It was really close to scoring. It seems like what Abu Bakr does really is fundamentals.
Yeah,
he got them right.
But you also see Davis as a centre mid for Abu Bakr. You think, like, I've never seen that before, right?
Never.
I think he's the only one. I think he's playing left centre mid with Davis, who's also going as a left mid if Sharif has the ball. So maybe he's better in defense as a left mid.
Could make sense, yeah. And he has 99 pace, obviously.
Yeah,
he's
long
really
ball.
Quick.
He has this
got 99 dribbling as well, which probably make him a little bit agile. Midfield three.
Nice press. And this could be dangerous.
Could Ronaldinho and Mbappe on the left-hand side of your screen. Mbappe will try and trigger his run. I'm not sure what that was on terms of a player lock that then brought a skill move out from Ronaldinho. He still is in possession, though. Is the Moroccan, picked the player lock on perfectly. Konate well defended. Even has time to take his heads off there. Whilst mid-attack. I wouldn't risk that normally.
I mean, he's in the game for top 4, and it seems like he's playing for champs. Just throw his headset away.
Oh, ref! Kai Havertz, you are one lucky man.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that because...
It looked like a lunge grab, a long lunge.
That's poor control by Stones. That's the thing, if you're attacking with the Stones, probably controls the first time touches are gonna be weak. But Davis is interesting. Reminds me of Guaran back in, let's say, last year, 2 years ago. So left-footed player in that position.
Yeah, he's just really tall. He's good in defense, and I think just everyone just plays with one fullback is offensive, and the other one is just staying back. And I think Stones is really good to just stay back, to just win tackles, to just win headers. I think he's perfect for that position.
We're going to catch the closing stage of our first quarterfinal, which is going to be concluded. It is still 6-2. There's been no difference in the scoreline. But the headline news here, Grav, that Anders was 4-0 up within 30 in-game minutes of this quarterfinal. He has not seemed fazed at all by the big stage here in Berlin.
We can see if he's going to score another one. Yeah. Yes, he does. That's a brilliant step over. Not only a normal step over, a directional one, which he uses them a lot, and brilliantly. And I mean, it's just the way he opens up the angle. He goes for a shot. 7-2, game done and dusted. And he shushes as well.
You said yesterday, Umit, that Anders was playing superb. It seems like he's somehow found another level today.
I think he's just playing like the last days. I mean, he played in the last days perfect. Now this game is perfect. And if he continue like this, I really don't know who's going to stop him. He's just playing crazy.
Well, 5 in-game minutes left of this one. We have heard of a big roar as well. There's been a big goal, bottom of your screen. I'm sure the Moroccans that are tuned in will be going crazy because he leads by 2 goals to 0 now. What a story this is starting to become now. First year he's been able to compete. Comes through the Moroccan Bطولة League with Raja Casablanca. He had to go the long way around the play-ins, and as it stands, he could be on his way to be into a semi-final. Hezer's looking for a consolation if he can find it. Still can't find a way past Anders, but what a story there, Grav, that's building in our other game.
And if we focus about the gameplay, that was a brilliant first player lock to open up the angle. And then he went for another quick player lock into the cross, which even though it was Stones against Haaland, which was Playstyle Plus against Playstyle Plus aerial, Haaland is just unstoppable in those situations. That's 2 goals from Haaland. The first one, which was the counter-attack, and now the header.
But you think the player lock, like the second for the cross, changed anything? You think you didn't think like he just could like cross normal without the player lock?
I think he could have crossed normally, yeah, but he did it. It was nice, it was beautiful, and it worked.
And maybe it's also nice to get your fingers warm for player lock because he's using it a lot.
Well then, full-time result. And the headline news here from Berlin is we have our first semi-finalist. Handshake between the two. But it was an impressive start in the first half from Anders. An even more convincing performance as well. 7 goals to 2. And he sends himself into the semi-final stages. Let's not hang about for too long because we've got another game that is very much underway as it currently stands. And here's Sharif that leads by 2-0 over there. He's had the best start in the first half. We're about to go into half-time. Abu Makar trying to make the most of that one. Well, we haven't had a great deal of time to talk about this game in detail, but first and foremost, Grav, we've seen it in little bits and bobs. You said the gameplay elements were brilliant from ex-Sharif. It seems like right now, no matter what he does, he's going to be loved for what he's done. He's already qualified for a World Championship. He's already made history. Just keep dreaming. Just keep going. At the moment, he's doing that.
I mean, it really, when you get to the top 8 and you were an eligible country last year, it seems like every single match is a gift, really. So in this situation, what I want to mention is how I mentioned how he wasn't defending as good these last few days. Today, the player switching into the centre backs for the tackle has been brilliant, and I don't think I remember Abu Makar having a clear chance. And it seems like the offside trapping is really good, and then when he switches into the centre backs, nice tackles. He's defending perfectly.
Well, you're speaking a lot about how good he's been defensively. Someone else has been keeping a close eye on the actions. Our very own Ryan Pissarro. Ryan, what have you made of it so far in this game?
Thanks, Brandon. I agree with everything Gravison has said. Sharif's been defending fantastically, but offensively as well is where he stood out as we take a look at his first goal in this game. As the clip plays on, pay attention to Erling Haaland here, who's triggered. And then you'll see here, the ball gets to Arnan. If he can freeze it here perfectly, there's a few options what he can do. Of course, the triggered run is the one he goes for, but a lot of players will look for the passes. You've got Mbappe here in support. You've got Ronaldinho near Ronaldo for a pass as well. And of course, Arnan Ronaldo doesn't really have the greatest passing play styles, if any, at all. So this pass is a little bit unorthodox as the clip plays on. It sets Haaland, who's perfectly in on goal, and it's down to Sharif now. Does he keep composed? Does he trust himself and be decisive? And that's exactly what he done. Celebration to match with his coach as well. And of course, he knows it's a big second half to play. And of course, let's head on back to the castle to see it.
It's a real unique scenario, isn't it, for Sharif as well, because as far as we've seen in this scene, there's been moments where a bit of history's been made. We saw the first Indian player qualified for the World Championship in Charanjit a few days ago, but when you've got a country that is just going crazy about you, Richard was saying he had a chat with Sharif. I think in the last 24 hours or so, he's gained 25,000 new followers on social media. Yesterday, he said, every time I'm refreshing my phone, I'm getting more and more Moroccans come through saying, we love you, you've made our country so proud. He just must be, this can't go any better for him at the moment.
It has to be the best week of his life. Just having your whole country being proud of you, playing in a top 8 situation in which he's playing perfectly. It seems like if he keeps it like that, it's going to be a top 4. I mean, it has to be the best week of his life, for sure.
For Abu Maka, he had an interesting group stage just a few days ago, because it wasn't as easy as he would have liked that to be.
He's onside.
We'll talk more about that in a second. Neymar on for a third, potentially!
Wow, wow, wow.
What a performance we are seeing!
Wow. If we run it back, just before that first control was the player lock, and then the finish was green. And it seems like those counterattacks he's pushing and he's punishing as well, because the player lock into Neymar was the perfect timing for it to not be offside, and then he's not second guessing. Goes for near post, green, 3-0.
Yeah, the dribbling before that was also really clean. The R1 dribbling, I mean, he just did it perfect to create the chance with the player lock again. I mean, I think he's the player who used the player lock the most in this tournament by far. Sure. And he's using the perfect.
Yeah, so as we saw from the clip that Ryan was talking about, it was not only the through ball, but first he opened up the angle with the player lock into R9, then second goal, 2 player locks, and now another player lock. Wow, we gotta go for a masterclass with him.
It's a start.
That's interesting.
A top 8 final day he's had. Abu Maka, though, as I was saying, look, started with a big 6-0 win a couple of days ago. Then lost 8-2 against Max Kullermeyer, which was a bit of a shock result, as we were talking about. We didn't expect that performance from Max. He had a great tournament overall.
Player lock.
Had to go on a penalty shootout against Tex to eliminate him to stay in this competition. And right now, we could be 4-0 down.
He's playing so good.
The Moroccan is causing mayhem here in Berlin.
Playing so good. You see again the goal, just the player locks. 3 player locks. 3 incredible player locks. And then the finish again, green, good composure. Really, really well done.
You can see what it means.
Bassi sat there on the sidelines to be a massive part of getting Morocco on the map. Alongside good friend Mr. Dory as well. They have been pushing for Morocco to have a voice in this scene. They were part of the FC Pro this year.
Another one.
And at the moment, this guy is absolutely cooking.
But Gravison, what do you think? You like Sharif got crazy support from the Moroccans. You think that also pushes him and helps him to play his best level?
It seems like it. It seems like it, because I don't think we've seen Sharif play as good as he's playing at the moment.
Yeah.
And I do think sometimes maybe when people are expecting big things from you, it can get to you and you can play worse, but sometimes it can bring you up.
Can we just tease this as well in terms of what a semi-final we've got on paper here? Anders Vergang against Sharif for a semi-final worth $150,000 that's going to have two huge fan bases behind it.
And I do feel like player locks could really work against Anders. It can go both ways, because if you're not quick enough with the player lock, he'll just player switch to the stones or whoever and then get the ball back. But if he's quick with those player locks, I think you can really punish Anders, because he'll put players out of position.
Yeah, I also think the same. I think Sharif got good chances to score many goals against Anders. I think how he's playing here, like, he's playing perfect. Also in defense now he's playing perfect, but
surely not fifth.
But against Anders it's not that easy to defend, so I think also Anders will score many goals. And I think in this matchup we also will see many goals if we just see it, because Abu Makr just still got 25 minutes, 4 goals, 9 minutes per half. Maybe he can do that.
It's a long time, but we just haven't seen Abu Makr be able to get going here. In case you haven't heard, as part of this year's FC Pro World Championship, there is, of course, a jackpot of $250,000 on the line, plus that incredible trophy, but there's also some power from our FC Pro champion, because he will get to choose his own icon SBC to come into the game. And we've been asking for you to get involved at home as well in the conversation of who you want that to be. It is one icon from a selection of 6. Your answers have been coming in. Eusebio, Jarzinho, there's Mbappe into Toni Kroos. Abu Makr needs something to go. It's still not going to go through. Roberto Carlos, Lam. I mean, look, if you remember carefully, the Champions League, it sort of was fitting that Johnny did go for Didier Drogba in the end, because he was a bit of a hero for him all the way through. There's been loads of crazy suggestions in the chat. There's been a lot of love for Samuel Eto'o, Grab. One icon you'd love to see as an icon SBC?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching Samuel Eto'o pretty much demolishing the Spanish league. He was so good when he was playing at Barcelona. But again, I really loved when I was competing back in 2019-18. Eusebio as a striker. Wow, what an item. So maybe Eusebio? I don't know.
Amit, who would you be choosing?
I think I would just take a player like, of course, who I grew up, but also like, I'm a Fener fan. Roberto Carlos, for example, played for Fener. Maybe I would choose him, and also maybe the players will just have their favorite clubs and just take a player from their club.
Well, we know that the community love this as well. It's an even bigger reason to get behind your favourite pro here in Berlin, because they could have a say in who could be coming into your ultimate team next. As we said, the winner today will get their own icon SBC that will be coming into the game at a later date. And the chat is going crazy about it. They have certainly got their opinions on who they would like to see. Back to this one now. 80 minutes away from finding our first semi-final locked in on paper. As it currently stands, it's going to be Anders Vergang against Sharif in a matchup worth $150,000. Still no way through for Abu Makr. Still can't find a way through, and you can just see the frustration coming out from him, Grab.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you know this is probably the biggest game of your life, really, and it seems like it's not going well because you're not only not playing at your best, but you had a couple of chances here. He chose the wrong post both times, and that's so frustrating, Umut.
Yeah, I mean, now he's also in constant pressure, but you see, again, a mistake from Abu Makr, and it's not easy to play. If you just have in mind, like, you're 4-0 down, you just have 15 minutes, and you need to score at least 4 goals, and you're not able to concede one, because if you just concede one, it's
game
definitely over.
Where do you think it's gone wrong for Abu Makr in this scenario? Maybe some nerves coming in. Rivaldo eventually finds a way through it thanks to the post.
I think he just couldn't play his normal play, like how he plays normal, because normally he's really good in attack. I mean, he didn't create that many chances in that game. And as we know, Sharif is really good in the attack, that he's scoring 4 goals. I think it's normal for Sharif. And yeah, so he just had to play better in offense, create more chances. And I think that was the thing that Abu Makr did wrong.
Well, we're here on Saturday now in Berlin. It was on Wednesday where Sharif had to play in the play-ins. 20 players were there. only 8 would make it through to the World Championships. He lost his first game 7-5, Gravison, in the groups, and then he went on to top the group, winning 3 games on a bounce. That put him into the World Championships on Thursday. Beat Mark, who was a runner-up in the World Championships last year, then beat K1 John on penalties to get him into the round of 16, and it was yesterday where he took down the CONMEBOL E Libertadores champion, and he might be on his way to take down the Saudi Arabian champion this year as well.
Not only that, in the last match of the play-ins group stage, he scored a couple of goals in the last minutes of the game, and that put him in the first position spot. So he's clutch, and he's managed to play those really complicated minutes of the match in a perfect way.
And look, although this has been a real hard game for Abu Makr, I know he's got an incredible Middle Eastern community behind him that's backing him, part of Team Falcon. MS Dasari, the man that we all know and love, his esports organisation, will be backing him to come off the back of this one. He still can't find a way through. Even with an open goal, there's just a defender that looms in the way. He has played this game perfectly.
Would you change anything, Robson, if you're Sharif? Because, like, look at his right back. He's just in the box. His left back is in his box. And he got, like, some counter-attack against him. Of course, it's the 86th minute. So I think now it's probably over. But still.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Changing for the 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2.
Yeah, something like that. You see both fullbacks
are attacking.
Offense, yeah.
Yeah.
Before a ball was kicked here in Berlin as well for Sharif. He just won his biggest jackpot this year of $10,000 in the Moroccan League, winning the Bطولة League. With this win here, he will quadruple his all-time earnings in this space. $70,000 just for getting to a top 4. What a way to mark your first season since Morocco have been eligible.
I do think if you attack with both fullbacks against Anders, that's not going to work out well for you, because he's really good at punishing when you attack with just one fullback. If you attack with both, 4v2 every single attack, he's going to score every single chance he gets.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if you lose the ball in his box, I think it's okay. But if he wins the ball in your half, both fullbacks go up, he will probably score many goals.
Is he done yet? No. Not the time though on red. Added time of 2 minutes. But as we said, we'll tease it again. It is going to be out then. What a semi-final that is going to be. Anders Vergang against ex-Sharif. It's whoever's going to be louder in the chat at home, because there's going to be an incredible semi-final. He can't quite believe what he is achieving here in Berlin. It's not a dream. Morocco are here, and they are here to stay.
You can see what it means to him. He doesn't believe how well he's played.
Yeah.
The thing is, now one step more, Anders probably the toughest game in the competition. But it seems like if he's able to keep up with those player locks and the way his players switching with the center backs and fullbacks, he could win. But it's going to be a hard matchup for him.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this semi-final is the biggest match. I mean, if he wins this, he play in final, and he won then against Anders. And if you win against Anders, your confidence is at 100%. So you think, I'm going to beat everyone. So this match will be so important for Sharif.
I can't imagine what's happening on that phone right now. It must be going insane. He is a semi-finalist and he is in the top 4 of this year's FC Pro World Championship. I will stand here now and say proudly, I would have not expected a run from many players like they have given us. Yuval Belli's in the top 8 as well. Let's not forget about him. But out of the 24 that already qualified through different FC Pro leagues, just the 8 players that came through, I didn't expect, okay, maybe a few to get into the round of 16, Grav, but to get to a top 8, to get to a top 4, I've been really surprised, and I'll hold my hands up.
I do think we expected to get to the round of 16, maybe Ekmen, but it was probably, in my opinion, the toughest group A. Yuval, he's still gonna play in the next quarterfinal, so we gotta see. But I didn't expect Sharif to get off the group stage, and not only that, but performing at this level, he's playing really good. So that was a surprise to me.
Yeah, incredible scenes, as we said. That's our first 2 quarterfinals done. There are still 2 more to come as we slowly but surely get closer towards that trophy being lifted here in Berlin. For now, it's with Case, who is with the winners of that semi-final.
Yes, I'm here with Sharif. We've seen the emotions here. We know how much this means to you. What are your emotions right now after that massive, almost perfect game against Abu Maka?
I'm just so proud of myself. So proud of all the Moroccan fans, the Moroccan community, all the people who gave me the best support ever. Really, I never expected that of myself. I never seen something that before in the game. It's my first time playing on this level. The first year where Morocco has been eligible, my first opportunity to play a World Cup and rush the semi-final. That's something crazy. I still didn't believe what I'm doing, really.
Well, it might be your first time, but you look so confident out there. And you know what? We might start calling you the player lock king because the amount of player locks that we've seen in that game is insane. Is that a vital part of your gameplay?
Yeah, the player lock is something necessary in my gameplay. I played with player lock since 2 years ago. I know I do the player lock best way possible, and that helped me a lot to win the games.
All right, well, the quarterfinals are over. You're going through, but you do have Anders up next. How do you fare your chances against that one?
Anders, I played against him on the first of the year in the FC Pro Open. I lost 3-2, but what can I say? Now it's time for the revenge.
The revenge. Well, we love to see it. We know that's going to be a fantastic matchup. You have all these fans behind you and back home in Morocco, so I'll let you sit back, relax, but you have another very tough game right around the corner, and let's see what FG thought about these last 2 matchups.
Thank you very much, Casey. I'm still getting my breath back, to be honest, because if that was our first round of quarterfinals, and that was 2 absolutely amazing games. First things first, Mo, that performance there to set up a semi-final against Anders Vergang was incredible.
I think both results are crazy. Like in the top 8 to beat the other world player, with 4 goals, 5 goals. It was really good for both. So they will be both really confident in the next round.
Most speechless as well, right? Let's we can see the bracket on the screen right now. Looking at this, to be quite honest with you, I probably wouldn't have expected Sharif to make it to the semi-final in the manner he did.
Yeah, I'll be honest, right? We saw him yesterday in his game against Nathan Assar. I thought offensively he was incredible. Defensively, I felt there were a little bit of mistakes there, but he was flawless pretty much throughout that whole game.
Yeah, absolutely flawless indeed. And another man who was flawless was Anders Vergang. As we expected, he started off so good, Mo. And the man on the other side was simply just shaking his head, thinking, what can I do?
To be honest, I know the feeling to lose against Anders with 7 goals. So, yeah, it's nothing you can do when he's confident and he's playing his game. So when he's leading 3 and 4-0, it's over. He will destroy you.
I mean, what could you do in that position, Ryan? I mean, we were saying backstage potentially he could have maybe taken a pause to kill the momentum, but Anders was a man on a mission.
Yeah, you could argue a pause could have helped maybe his mental state going into the rest of the game, but Anders was just flying, I'll be honest. Before we knew it, Jesus was out of it, and yeah, Anders is just on a different level today.
And look at some of these stats as well. The shots on goal, 9-4. 9 shots on goal, 7 goals, Mo.
Yeah, I think he will be disappointed about it. He will be angry that the 2 shots will not go in, but he's clinical in front of the goal. And I'm really excited about the next game, about the semi-final. Yeah, I expect a lot of goals from both.
I mean, that game should be crazy, right? Because Anders Vergang has started really confidently.
Yep.
And Sharif has just, I mean, I was having a look at his Instagram and stuff. The man is flying, mate.
Yep, flying on the pitch as well. He's impressed me a lot, honestly. I don't know what I expected today defensively. I mentioned it already, but he was insane. And Anders, obviously, we know how well he plays with the fundamentals, Mo, specifically. But if he adds in those things like the crossing, the corners, everything.
Finesse shots.
It's ridiculous.
Listen, I mean, the action is just getting started here, but we are going to crown our first ever FC Pro World Champion here, so stick with us. It's been incredible, and we've got more to come. EA Sports FC 24 tournaments are now live on PS5 and PS4. Compete for FC points and more in Ultimate Team or Kickoff mode. To sign up on PS5, head to the FC24 Game Hub on your PS5 and look for upcoming tournaments. You can also register in-game by scrolling to the bottom of the FC24 main menu and selecting PlayStation Tournament. on PS4, you'll find tournaments in your events tab on your console. Sign up and show off your skills on PlayStation tournaments. Right, remember, the longer you watch the broadcast tonight, the more you are in line to receive rewards in the game, including XP and packs. Each day, there are unique rewards to each broadcast. Watching today and you're up for 400 XP, a Jumbo Premium Gold Pack, and a Rare Players Pack. Not bad at all. Watch all 4 broadcasts and you're eligible for an Ultimate Pack. Be sure to link your EA account to your Twitch or YouTube account to get your viewership rewards. We're going to go for a quick break, but we will be back and the action will continue.
PlayStation.
Hello and welcome back to the FC Pro World Championship Finals here in Berlin. Wow, what a first set of quarterfinals we've just seen. Casey joining me at the front. We've now got 2 massive quarterfinals to come. If you've missed any of the action, Anders Vergang is through to the semi-final and Sharif is through to the semi-final. That's coming up a little bit later. But now, Casey, let's talk about the next quarterfinals. 2 more huge games to come. As you see on the screen, Emre Yilmaz versus Yuval, Jafonso versus K1 John. Let's talk about Jafonso and K1 John first. Now, these 2 have got previous, Casey. in the form of a 6-0 win for one of them.
Yes, that is true. Final of EMLS Cup this year. They did match up in that final 6-0 for Jafonzo. But you know what? It was very, very long ago. Different type of squads, different type of restrictions. And so I think it'll be a little bit different this time around.
6-0. My head's gone, you know. If I'm playing someone else who's beating me 6-0, and I know what they're capable of, as we see some of the clips of some of the great work these guys did. Max, by the way, was a man who knocked out Tex, a man who made huge waves, and he was by no mean feat. This is a performance and a half from Jafonzo.
It really was, and it was a bit unexpected as well, because a lot of players hyped up Max coming into this. You said he took out Tex, and so he had a very good run up until that point, but Jafonzo almost made it look easy.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the other quarterfinal, shall we then? It's Yuval, who's been absolutely sensational, against Emre Yilmaz. We predicted, well, Mo definitely predicted that Emre Yilmaz was one of the favourites, and so far, so good for him in this tournament, not so much for the guys that he plays with.
Absolutely, yeah. Anytime you are going up against Emre Yilmaz, you are in for a very difficult situation, as we see a few of Emre's goal here against Gibaros. The celebration's not really much of a celebration. We don't see much in terms of emotions out of Emre. He's always locked in, isn't he?
He's locked in, he's cool, he's composed, and he's a fantastic FC player. Right, Casey, it's been a long week, okay? And you're yet to predict a single result. I'm going to ask you for your predictions for both quarterfinals right now. Let's start with Jafonzo K1 John. Are you going to sit on the fence, or are you going to give us a prediction?
Here's the thing. For that one, I think a player from EMLS will win.
Brilliant. Right, okay. Well, that's 1-0 to you. All right, next quarterfinal, Emre Yilmaz or Yuval?
You know, I think someone from Europe will win that one.
Right, and I think we should just head and talk about Yuval, because we're getting nowhere here. Let us know in the chat what your prediction is. Hopefully it's better than Casey's, but let's talk a little bit more about Yuval, shall we?
Last year I finished first in Europe in the rankings, and I'll try to do everything I can to win it. It's a pleasure to have support, so people watching you from their home or here. And yeah, I think the mentality is even more important than the gameplay. And yeah, I hope I can do it and show my level. To keep my head up, no matter what the score is, if I concede or if I score. My family, friends support me. Famalicão, the football team, maybe Portugal also. The Portugal guys from the league, maybe they watch. Every match matters, and I'm ready.
I think that pretty much proved that I can beat anyone, especially when everyone wants to win. It's just 3 wins away from a world champion. I think we both will give everything we have.
Of course, the biggest tournament of the year.
We just play the game.
Yeah.
Prove that I can win and be the best player in the world.
I'm ready.
Yuval's ready, and so am I. Casey, how are you feeling?
I'm nervous. The stakes are high. We have a lot on the line, trophy, money, and honestly, like you said, I don't know who's going to win this one. I can't make a prediction, so we're just going to have to watch it, you know?
You're nervous. Imagine how the players are feeling. Honestly, there is an air of it's just a mad atmosphere in here because the stakes are so high. $250,000, and what else are they playing for, Casey?
I mean, you know, there's a massive gold trophy behind me right here, and only one player will be lifting it at the end of today, FG.
And that is absolutely what they are playing for. And look how nice it looks too. Let's get into the next round of quarterfinals.
There's going to be a new winner.
3 wins from being a world champion, and I'm ready.
Well, let's wrap up these quarterfinals and get ourselves set for the semis. We've got 2 players making their way to the stage with ambitions of lifting that FC Pro World title. Team Hullet and Emre Yilmaz. They came in with such high and lofty expectations, but there's only one player from arguably the best org in the land remaining. On the other side, Yuval Belli. For a long time, a lot of people have had question marks over this young man. Can he do it when the lights shine brightest? He has proven that he certainly can do that, Ryan Pessoa, here in Berlin.
Yeah. The player's player, I spoke to you about this before. Online, in those tournaments, that era of online competition, Yuval Belli was incredible. As he said, ranked 1 last year. but it's good to see him performing on the biggest stages of all. He's taken down some juggernauts, Nicholas, Manu Bashoria. Now he's got to face Emre Yilmaz as well.
Also joined with the 2019 world champion Mo Albert in the commentary position for these two quarter-final matchups. They've both been to world championships before. They've never got over the line. How important is it every single year that you come back to want to try and achieve just that little bit more? Because I think for Emre, 2022 he finished top 4, 2023 he got knocked out in the round of 16.
Yeah, I think you have to be like a person who learn from your losers. So it could help you, but also it could be bad because he remember like his losses and be like a little bit scared to be like in this round. But like myself, I was like 2-time knockout at the top 8 and then winning the world championship. So I learned from my mistakes, learned to be like a little bit more relaxed.
Well, he came through the Portuguese league.
Yep.
Ryan Pessoa, he had to go to another league to find his way into the World Championships. He picked that spot up and then he came through the play-ins. Wasn't only Sharif who still did it in the play-ins, Yuval did as well. How impressed have you been with Yuval's performances here in Berlin?
It's been incredible. I know he's coached very, very well from home. Benny, you know very well as well. And he spoke about how much Yuval Belli has come on leaps and bounds this season. He's learned and developed a lot as a person and a player. And it's good to see him showing it on the biggest stages of all. But again, we spoke about who he's beaten. Emre Yilmaz is just a different level this year.
And I think the scariest thing, if you're the rest of the tournament, you're looking at Emre Yilmaz's performance in that round of 16, kept a clean sheet.
Yep.
No one else in the round of 16 kept a clean sheet. If Emre can tie up that defence, you know that he's going to create chances, he's going to score goals. It's Yuval from right to left, all in white. And in that Team Hullett strip from left to right will be Emre Yilmaz.
For me, one matchup to watch is like this Weghorst against Joselu matchup. Both have the aerial plus, but I think Weghorst is a bigger and win the headers.
Well, we've just also got to dissect what we've just seen. Ryan Pessoa, 2 pretty convincing victories for both Anders Vergang and ex-Sharif to book their place into the top 4. Are we expecting that again, or I think we're going to be at the other side of the ruler almost? I think we're going to have tight, nervy games.
I feel like it's destined to be tight on this game. I don't know. I can't pick a winner in this. I think obviously on paper, Emre Yilmaz will be the favourite just off past accomplishments, but I honestly can't even give a prediction for this game.
I think it will be the closest game here in the quarterfinals because like both have the similar play style. So they're really solid defensively and offensively. They can like destroy each other. I expect like a 4-4 extra time match.
4-4 extra time, there you have it. There's Mo's prediction. Let us know at home who you think's going to be victorious. Emre Yilmaz or Yuval. Ronaldinho opening up the scoring, passing it straight across the box to Weghorst. Talked about the defensive capabilities that Emre showed in the round of 16. Maybe went a little bit lacking there as we go into the quarters round.
It's similar to what Yuval done yesterday against Manu with the dribbling with Ronaldinho here. Baits a little pass across, dribbles, technical sprint in the box. Of course, finds that pass across goal to Weghorst.
It's a fantastic point you make there. Already had beaten someone from Team Hullett. Obviously, Manu did it through PSV and Eredivisie. However, they're under the same organisation. He's knocking them off one by one, it would seem, at the moment. It's your FC Pro World Championship quarter-finals. 6 players remain, 2 in the semis, Anders and Sharif, and we need to find those other 2 semi-finalists. It will be Emre Yilmaz or Yuval. And Jafonso and K1 John waiting in the wings, ready to make their mark here on the last day of the FC Pro season.
It's a really good start from Yuval. No chance for Emre to go like in a box and like in attacking.
He just jinxed
big
him.
Mistake.
As the Hullett drives towards that near post, string timed across the box. It doesn't for the prettiest, however, you don't care in that situation.
Yeah, at this stage, you can't make mistakes like this. Like, he lost the ball, unforced error, and then it was a bit lucky, you know, for Emre, because, like, I think he defended it really well. He anticipates the shot, go with Van Dijk in the shot lane, but yeah, a bit lucky for Emre.
A bit. Not much you can really do there from Yuval, but as you said, that
he gave the ball away.
He gave the ball away.
Yeah.
That's the key there. That's the mistake from defensively there, gifting possession to Emre, of course.
For me, because it's a bit lucky, because there are like too many players in the box, so it's like percentage-wise, it's really
He played the
high.
percentages that he's going to fall back to one of his players.
Yeah, and that's why you can't make mistakes like this. He had like a 3 against 2 position, so it's really good for an offensive guy.
We thought it would be a tight, even affair. That's what it's living up to in the opening 20 minutes. 1-1, the scoreline. A semi-final spot is what they're both fighting for. Dinked over the top. Van Dijk will never win though. Weghorst is always the favourite, and we've not seen Van Dijk as prominent in all the teams, and is that a perfect example of why? Right there, as Weghorst comes forward again, and it's Van Dijk defending against it. Weghorst just breezes past, and a Travella into the top left corner.
That's how brutal FC24 can be, end-to-end action. You mentioned Van Dijk there. The aerial plus, or lacking of aerial plus play style, is something that a lot of players have noticed and opt for different options. Weghorst in behind there.
Slight mistake, you expect him to cut inside and Emre just took the line, or
yeah,
attacking play?
I think he wanted him to go to the line because it was a great shot, you know, it's yeah, it was great timing from the pass and the shot also, because he moved his goalkeeper also in the short post. But it was a great shot for Weghorst, so yeah.
And we always talk about small margins, Ryan. I think this is the perfect example of it. Just the real tightest of affairs that can be separated by one mistake, one jockey instead of when you should be going into a sprint down the byline.
It was 2 different ends of the spectrum there. You saw with, I think it was Konate in the box for Emre when defending. He didn't bait or get baited in by stepping forward defensively.
As you see, the Vic saying Emre for the win. Good UV from DJ Diddy Mac. Some of these names do crack me up.
He's going to win that.
Weghorst at the back post, 2-2.
This guy plays amazing offensively. Like every attempt is a goal. We didn't saw like a shot who missed. So yeah, it's a good decision. Like